Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So we have a major snow event, the largest snow event of the season, potential up to 18 inches of snow today and into tomorrow. So I'm making a little video here to summarize the major winter storm of the 23-24 season. And it is March 24th today. This will probably be the last large snow of the season. And we're gonna drive in it. So thankfully, Alexa has to go down to Marshfield tomorrow, and we're gonna leave at the tail end of the snow system. So hopefully we won't have to deal with any poor roads. But today we're gonna drive over to my grandpa's house, and hopefully we will hit some bad roads and see how the old Ram truck does navigating this snow. It's been over a year since we have driven in any sort of bad snowstorm with the truck. So I'm pretty excited to get this puppy out on the roads here and drive through some nasty conditions. But this snow just started about 20 minutes ago. It arrived definitely earlier than expected. It was supposed to arrive at about 9 to 10, and now it's 7:30, and we're gonna get it here. So major snow event, last snow event. We need the moisture really, really bad. 11:07, this is hour almost 4 of the winter snowstorm, and it's been kind of snowing on and off. Now it just started to get a little worse. We can see the roads are actually pretty good. So I was expecting there to be about 2 inches of snow up to this point, but there is not. So we're gonna do a little bit of driving here out to Grandpa's house. Maybe those roads are a little worse than these, but this is a county highway. It's actually pretty good right now. Hopefully, we have to go to Marshfield tomorrow. You will see a video on that. Hopefully, the snow is maybe plowed by then, if we actually do get the amount of snow that they are saying. But right now, the roads are clear. The temperature is actually 29, so it's almost above freezing. And we really shouldn't see too much clinging onto the roads here unless we get that 1 to 2 inch snowfall rate. And at that point, then the roads will be a little slushy. But it sounds like the following night, so it'd be tomorrow night, and this will come out after the snowstorm gets done with, but it sounds like we're supposed to get 1/2 inch to 3/4 an inch of rain. So what that is going to do is wipe out all the snow. It's all going to be gone. So we needed moisture. It was really bad. My greens were getting down to about 10% at the surface, 10% soil moisture level. And we needed the moisture bad. So now all the snow will melt into the ground and the rain. So we're not gonna have much frost, if any. And the rain that we get is gonna essentially wipe out that little bit of frost, that top level of frost that we do have just from freezing overnight the last few nights. And it is going to soak right in, and we should be set. Spring should arrive after this. So for right now, though, we're gonna have a little bit of fun in the Ram truck and deal with some of these nasty winter conditions. But right now, it's just really windy and a little snowy. Otherwise, the roads are fine. You know, you can see there it's wet out of the back mirror, but overall, it's so far so good. All right, we have got some slickness on the roads. We're gonna slip and slide a little bit. The traction control's doing its work. I forgot to mention, I have BF Goodrich TAKO2s that, there's my tractor, that have about 30,000 miles on them so far, and they're actually doing very well. I like to rotate every oil change. These tires are really expensive, and they are very nice, and I don't want to have to pay for newer tires. So I'm essentially elongating the life of these tires. But one thing to note is that I don't do burnouts on this truck very often. I never really race this truck. Maybe I'll step it from a stop once a month, but Otherwise, I like to try to keep the tires as good as I can because they are slightly expensive. So, long story short, these have about 30,000 miles on them here, and they are holding up very, very well. I'm quite impressed. I should be able to get another 20,000 out of them, but you can see the bridges are icy for sure and snow covered, a little slippery and slidey. One thing I do have to say, when you drive a truck, you have such a good sense, and you make sure you don't have false confidence, but it's just confidence. These trucks weigh 6,000 plus pounds, even more when you pack it full of 2 people and gas and stuff in the back. It's like you really get a good sense of what the road feels like with the truck and how to drive. I mean, in 2-wheel drive here, this truck is holding its own, and I will eventually switch it to 4. But paired with these BF Goodrich tires, I'm always impressed at how well the truck does handling on slush and ice and snowy roads. I always feel like I'm in a safe vehicle higher up, and I appreciate that. And actually, every Ram that I've owned has gotten better going in the snow. My first truck being a 2014 quad cab Bighorn. I never put any special tires on that, but of course my night edition that I had before this truck had the BF Goodrich TAKO2s. But now what that truck didn't have was the off-road package. So I can lock my axle, I've got the rock crawling ability, and I can switch on the fly. But that's putting the pedal down, and I gotta say, in 2-wheel drive, this truck on that slush and ice right there holds its own and does an excellent job trying to keep the truck as straight as possible, applying brakes to the front and rear tires each individually, and then putting the power down to the rear tires as it should. But we're gonna get to our destination safely here, and on the way back, hopefully we have a little bit more snow accumulation. It is now 2 o'clock, so we are on hour 7 of the snowstorm. Hour 7, and I do have to say, the roads look like they are getting worse, and clearly it's like a slush combo. You can see, oh yeah, see, that's slippery. I'm just barely putting down the gas, and the traction has come on. So in some of these spots that are tree covered, it's now slushy and icy and snowy. So that combines for the worst amount of traction that you can get with any sort of vehicle. So we've still got it in 2 high to test the durability of the tires, of course. But as you can see right here, we're going to upshift into 6 and a little bit of spinach, but not bad. So with that being said, it is really nice to see that the roads are still warmer than freezing, because they are, for the most part, pretty clear and pretty wet, which is good. Now, the one thing we have to worry about here, though, is once everything starts to get cooler out, it's 31 right now, so chances are the ambient temperature here, of course, is going to be a little bit warmer on the blacktop, hence why it's melting. But the one thing we have to worry about tonight is the freezing of the roads. So that could make for very sketchy travel conditions. And right now we have to go back to the house and then up to Barron. So we'll be driving for a little bit longer, and we'll be able to see how the main roads are, county highways and U.S. highways here. But, for the most part, these roads are actually doing better than expected, and you could see there is a little bit of snow, but it's not going to accumulate that much because of the blowing. It's blowing, gusting 15, 20 plus miles an hour at points. So of course, you get like right there, that's it. That's all the snow accumulation. So it's really not accumulating that much, and it really isn't amounting to anything. So if we're going to get this 12 inches of snow that was predicted, then it's going to have to come here pretty fast, because it's already 2 o'clock. And if we only get another, 18 hours of snow at this rate, we're not going to get the full 12 inches of snow. We maybe got an inch so far, I would say, roughly. And of course it's blowing, so that always changes as well. Excuse me. You can see some of these roads are a little covered, but for the most part everything's pretty clear and melted away. I've definitely seen worse, let's put it that way. So we're going to get a little farther up here and see how the roads are. I know there's one stretch up here that may be a little bit slippery, but I was kind of hoping at this point either there's enough salt on the roads, or like I said, the ambient temperature of these roads is enough to melt the snow, which I think is happening. And hopefully there is some area up here where it's a little bit more tree covered, where there is a little bit more snow. I thought we'd be driving through at least an inch or two of snow on the way home. So we're not, but that's okay. Ram truck handling it well, just like a cool fall rain with some slush on the road. Driven through worse. Going the speed limit. And we're just trucking along here. Some of these intersections have some snow, or where the trees are, of course, where the sun doesn't shine, it doesn't get that road any more warmer than it already is. But you can see the major problem, like I was saying, what we're going to have is that these little pockets in the road, if there's no salt on them, they're going to freeze, and then it is going to become icy tomorrow. Go a little bit more snow and slush on the road. Eagles out in the field. And this is the part I was hoping for. So one thing I want to demonstrate here is these tires in the snow and the slush, at A, how good the stopping power is. That's all the way down. ABS working very well. And now, if we floor it in two-wheel drive, it does actually a fairly decent job at getting us going. Oh, look at that. We hit the snowplow. It's a little too early to be plowing, but yep, the stopping power of these tires are very good, especially when you get them up a little bit warmer. The water sipons out of the treads very well, and for that, I do have to say I like it. So we're going to get back safely driving here and see how the roads are closer up to our destination. So you can see the side roads are now covered with snow. I'm still in two-wheel drive, and I did manage to get up that little hill thanks to the traction control system. And I was actually going to take the traction control system off. There we go. Now that's one way to get going. The traction control system did do a good job at honing me in, and ultimately at the end of the day, the overall traction control system did take over, even though I did have traction off. So these side roads are getting to be a little bit more covered, but again, the roads that are out in the open are still good, and we're about 7.5 hours into the storm now. So apparently there is more snow coming, but that is yet to be seen tonight. So tomorrow on the next video, you will see the aftermath of what is going to fall tonight. All right, so now we are getting closer to the 8-hour mark, and you can see that the snow is finally coming down a little bit harder and is starting to create some slush on the roads. So it is making it a little bit slicker, although the tires that I have on are working pretty well. But now we are getting some heavier snowfall rates, hopefully a ½ inch an hour or an inch an hour. I guess time will tell here, but we're gonna get going home. If you guys like the content, this is just a little vlog about the winter storm. like and subscribe for more of this type of content. Tomorrow, or the next video, if you so choose to watch that, you will get the remnants of this storm. So you'll see how the Ram truck does. Today the Ram truck did very well, exceptionally well, of course, as it should. And then now tomorrow we'll get the remnants of this storm, and we'll see how the Ram truck does as we do a 2-hour and back trip. So 4 hours total of driving down to Marshfield Clinic and back. All right, guys, thanks.